How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach Hicks, your resident film nerd of HorseshoeHuddle.com, and of course, your favorite co-host over at the Locked On Colts podcast. We are back with yet another 5-minute film room here for the channel. And look, guys, the Colts have been eliminated from playoff discussion, playoff contention this year, and there's going to be a lot of doom and gloom and just talk about tearing down this roster in the offseason. So I'm going to have one more day of just enjoyment, I guess, on this channel before we get into off-season coverage and talking about it. And that one bit of enjoyment comes from our special team hero, Ashton Dulin. We're going to talk a little bit about Ashton Dulin in this past game and how, honestly, outside of the Jaguars' turnovers in the red zone, Ashton Dulin's play on special teams was a big reason why the Colts were competitive in this football game. So first, he started off the game with a big 53-yard return, really outstanding return from him here. And honestly, with both of his long returns, this one and the other 50-plus yarder, they were both just great individual efforts here. If we actually look at this play that he makes, it's pretty well blocked up front. But really what he does is he presses this hole right here. So when we look, he's going to press this inside lane here, which gets this defender to cross the face of the blocker. And because that defender crosses the face there, Dulin's able to cut back, open up that lane for himself, and get into that open window. So that's a lot of Dulin just acting like a running back on this return and creating that lane for himself. We get to his other big return here. And again, a lot of this is Dulin just kind of creating the lane for himself. A lot of where the Colts want to go here is blocking up this lane up the middle here. And they actually, again, they block it pretty well. This guy's got some inside leverage. This guy's got inside leverage. So Dulin is smart not to take this lane right here. But what we see here is pretty much a running back level jump cut. I mean, he gets into this lane here. Again, he can make that work right there. He's been returning at such a high level this year. But instead, we get the little jump cut here, jump cut back across, and cut it across the field. I mean, that is just some next level stuff from Ashton Dulin on his returns. That is a running back making some guys miss in the hole. Whenever you can make two defenders tackle each other, that means you're doing something right as a ball carrier, able to get back across the field. And as a result, on these two long returns that Ashton Dulin had in this game, the Colts were able to get 10 of their 17 points off of these returns. So Ashton Dulin was essentially the Colts' best offensive weapon in this game, turning field position and getting the ball past midfield on two of their possessions turned into 10 points on the day. Dulin was essentially their best offensive player in this game, and his two returns were outstanding. He's over 30 yards per return this season, one of the best kick returners in football, and getting him back out there, again, was vital for the Colts offense, just getting points on the board. But also he was vital for the Colts punting game as well. Rigoberto Sanchez has been very good this season, but I guarantee that his on-off splits with Ashton Dulin and without Ashton Dulin, the net difference is huge. I mean, if we look up here, Dulin is getting the two-man block up here on top of the screen, so we're going to pull it up. Two-man block up top of the screen, so he goes out of bounds to get around them and then fight back through that coverage. Does a really great job of, again, voiding that press of the first guy, working back across the face of the other guy here on top of the screen, getting back across. And then this is Parker Washington. Mind you, Parker Washington, the punt returner for the Jaguars, has 2 punt return touchdowns this year, one of the most dangerous punt returners in football. What we see here is he fields this punt. He's trying to do his thing here, cutting across, finding that lane. But Ashton Dulin, one of the best gunners in all of football, does a great job of getting him to the ground. Again, this is the elite special teamer the Colts have here, an all-pro special teamer for a reason. We see at the top of the screen here, at gunner, he's working one-on-one, does a really great job of just, I think the guy who's blocking him here thinks that Dulin's going to have an inside release here. Dulin just beelines to the outside. The outside release forces his blocker to try a speed turn to try to catch up. It doesn't work, and as a result, Dulin's able to get down the field in a hurry and pin this kick back at the 20-yard line. No return, force that fair catch. The difference between, again, 1 yard or 0 yard gain and potential big return from one of the best punt returners in football. And this last one was honestly probably my favorite clip from Ashton Dulin because just the optics of it, and I'll go through it in a second here. But again, we have him at the bottom of the screen. The two-man return does a really great job of going out of bounds, working back up, and closing in on that backside as the punt is kicked to the one-man blocking side from Rigoberto Sanchez. So again, we see Dulin doing his thing, getting across the face of the player, working back inside. But I'm going to pause it right here. And I don't think Parker Washington knows this is Ashton Dulin here, right? I don't think this is what he sees. You can see his head is turned this way. He wants to cut back across the field. We saw Parker Washington in this game, right? He had multiple cutbacks on catches, so we know that he wants to cut back here. But just the optics of him looking back and seeing number 16 there and just kind of remembering the clip from earlier where Dulin picked him up and tackled him and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to go forward. Because I think, like, honestly, firmly right here, actually, he probably does see that that's Dulin and says, you know what, never mind, I'm going forward. If I cut back, I'm going to get tackled. So just the optics there look great. And again, Dulin, one of the best gunners in all of football, making one of the best punt returners in football, second guess his playmaking ability. But yeah, this wasn't the greatest game for the Colts. The offense was stagnant. Defense allowed a lot of yards outside of a couple turnovers. They were pretty poor. But special teams was outstanding, and that's because the Colts have, for my money, the best special teams player in football. Ashton Dulin is a player worth keeping. He's a winning football player. I just wish the Colts could put a winning product around him because he deserves it. He just does it all for the Colts. Outstanding year for him. He's an ascending player despite being near 30 at this point. And I just enjoy watching him play football so much. A guy who should be a role model for a lot of young players. He's been doing some great things for the Colts. And I wanted to highlight one thing positive, at least from this game, and that ends up being Ashton Dulin.